Good morning, traders. It's another wonderful Monday morning here in Traderland. It's Monday, May 19th, and we're entering a week of central bank theater. Oh, it's going to be marvelous. Yep, sure, Moody's pulled its downgrade trigger heading into the G7, but the market barely blinked. Meanwhile, there's a parade of Fed speakers. They're all lining up to confuse, comfort, and maybe even corner us into volatility. And guess what? That is our edge. This week isn't about substance, it's about optics. And in the world of asymmetric trades, optics equal opportunity. And Moody's downgraded the U.S. last week of U.S. sovereign credit. It kind of fizzled. Futures shrugged. Bonds yawned. Got a frog in my throat. But this wasn't about default risk. It was a narrative primer for what's ahead, and that's a coordinated global message campaign. The G7 is in session. The economic calendar has been cleared out all the way until Thursday. Take a look. There's nothing but FOMC speakers. It is a parade. It is their opportunity to just beat their chests. So the G7 is in session, and the ECB is floating dovish trial balloons. Over a dozen Fed voices are queued up to lean hawkish, then soft, then hawkish again. But that's not policy, that's positioning. And it's why the VIX is up about 14% since Friday. Not because of real danger, but because of narrative fog, the fuel for our zero DTE butterflies and our fat tail setups. Wider flies are in play this morning, 30 to 35 wide on the SPX, and we're eyeing early big-ass fly entries ahead of the Fed commentary waves and structural coil breakouts. We'll break down the VIX playbook next, then scan the chart for our volume node pivots, especially that top knot at about 58, 57. And that's kind of our breakout point where we could see early action. The directional bias remains bullish, and the structure will tell the story. This week is not about reacting to fear. It's about reading the script and front-running the reversals. So let's go to the charts. There we go. Did it first time this time. All right. So as I said, the VIX is up about 14% since Friday. So you would think, oh my God, the world's coming to an end. VIX up 14%. No, it really was just a little bit of posturing and getting ready for the theater. But what it does is it puts us up here into slightly wider butterfly widths for our zero DTE trades, our out of the money butterflies. So we're looking at 25 to 30 wide. We'll take a look at the big ass fly to see where it is on the range so we can see, hey, should we lean more towards 25 or 35? Right? As it turns out, let's go there and check that out. And as it turns out, looks like we're right in the middle. As you can see, we're sitting at 20.15, and that is definitely right. We are postured for a big-ass fly trade today. I think it would be a good day. I don't know, unless there are Fed speakers out there that are going to rock the boat and say something ridiculous. It's always possible. But I don't think there's any expectation of that. They're all kind of lining up for a coordinated narrative. So big ass fly is probably going to be an excellent trade today. But just because I said that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be ready to pull the trigger on your risk. Remember, these big ass flies, they're super profitable or potentially profitable, but they also contain a lot of risk. We only trade them when the debit's 25 or lower, and right now at 20, that presents a nice little upside potential. But keep your stops at about $3.50. All right. And so let's go back to the chart, trading view, and we'll take a look at our ongoing series of charts. Obviously, bullish bias today, as we're well above the moving average, and that moving average is screaming upwards while the death cross is still looming. The death cross. Let's move on to our structural analysis. As you can see, this is what happened when Moody's issued their downgrade, which was really just, again, a punctuation mark for the beginning of this week, which is the G7. And we slid slightly over, mostly because there's really nothing to report, nothing on the macro stage, but we'll talk about that in a moment. You can see that we're bouncing off of the top knot node. And let's take a look at the big picture so you can see where that red line actually is. So the green line represents the bottom of the node and the red line the top of the node. And we're going into an area of illiquidity or low liquidity. So it's very possible that we move up sharply today without any real economic reports or anything else to report, unless a central banker decides to muddy up the waters. We shall see. Like I said, it's theater. And they're all out there. They're all, you got to look at this report. It's unfriggin' believable. Let me see if I can get it in view. Do I have it? Hold on. I'm coming. Where is that economic report? I have it in here somewhere. Is that it? Is that it? No, that's not it. Where are you? I know I took a screenshot of it. There it is. Right there. So I need to just do a little house cleaning here. Sorry about this. But we're getting there. That's not it. Ernie, please. There we go. That's what I wanted to show you. All right, check this out. Monday, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 FOM speakers. And Bostic speaks twice. And then tomorrow, G7 meeting starts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more speakers. It just goes on and on. Holy crap, all the way through this week. We don't have any significant economic reports until Thursday when we have unemployment and flash PMI. And that's it. And then Friday, just new home sales. Other than that, it is a Fed narrative parade. It's unbelievable. So that's what we're up against this week. So now you know what I mean. So let's go back to the charts and take a look at the big picture volume profile. You can see how we've screamed towards all-time highs. Of course, we had to have a break somewhere along the line, and that is, apropos, just before the Fed parade and the G7 talks. We're sitting here on top of the top knot node. See, top knot node. And then, of course, we escaped from the freedom node, and now we're on the stair step getting ready to blast off. So I guess it all depends on what happens this week, what comes out. They're going to be all Is this going to be their opportunity to lash out at Trump and tariffs? Probably not, because he's out there making deals, and this is my analysis. I think anybody that is out there that tries to dig at the Trump tariffs and his plan is going to get punished severely in the form of tariffs. So that's what I think is going on. It's really they're playing 4D chess here. So I think that there's nothing but good news. Of course, the central bankers also want to exert some level of control. I think they're feeling things slipping out of their hands. Not that they ever had any real control other than their narrative. So there you go. What else can we look at? I think Tesla's a buying opportunity. It's slipped since Friday. There you go. And let's go back to the talking head. Am I back? Oh, what's going on here? Am I frozen? seemed frozen. I don't know. We don't know. Let's see, do that again. Yeah, looks frozen to me. All right, but I am here. maybe I talk behind, let's see, the pretty picture. There you go. Yeah, it is frozen, isn't it? Let's see. Can we do something about that? I don't know. That's really weird. It's the software camera. Yeah. Really, really strange. Well, at least that's what it looks like on my side. I don't know that it's actually frozen, but on my side, the software is totally frozen. But we'll see. We'll see when this all comes out. We'll go back to the pretty charts. So that's the story for this morning. We've got a lot to look forward to, I guess. No economic reports, slightly heightened volatility, wider flies, and this is going to be a cornucopia. This is when the fat tail really comes into play, when you have weeks like this, particularly as whatever transpires in the G7 is going to show its ugly or pretty head next week. So those fat tail trades are really going to pay off. And of course, we're all positioned for those from previous weeks, but we have to lay our seeds for the coming weeks. And yeah, we'll try this one more time and say, okay, this is what I look like from the side. I don't know if I'm actually showing me here, but thank you all very much, and I hope you all have a great trading day. This is Coach Ernie, and I am